Time now for your forewarned weather with Cedric Haynes.
All right, happy Tuesday, everyone. Let's talk about the weather story here. We're tracking quite a bit of weather activity over the next couple of days, including these gusty south winds. You're going to really notice those again as we go throughout today. You probably noticed them during the overnight hours and even yesterday afternoon, and they will continue to be with us today. Now, those gusty south winds are helping to push in that warm air across the area, so temperatures will be about 20 to 30 degrees above average again today. Now, we are tracking a couple of weather changes, and that does include a couple of storm systems as we go throughout this week. We've got one that'll move through during the middle of the week. The second one arrives as we get towards the end of the week, and that one brings a return to more winter-like conditions across the area. Let me take you outside the ABC4 studios because, yeah, you can tell we've got that south wind blowing out here. Our colonial flag standing pretty tall out there as we look towards the sky. Also notice plenty of cloud cover, and look at the temperature. 61 degrees outside. Yeah, it's 61 degrees after 6 o'clock in the morning. It's pretty balmy, folks. Now, we've been as warm as 63 degrees since midnight. I mentioned that because the daily record high for today is 60 degrees. That was set back in 1925. Well, obviously, we've already broken the record high because we've already been as warm as 63 degrees. Now the question is just how warm does it get later today? That will determine what the new record high temperature will be. 61, as I mentioned, here in Salt Lake City, but it's 58 in Ogden, 51 in Provo, 58 in Wendover. We've got temperatures in the 30s and 40s across the eastern half of the state, and then temperatures in the 30s and 40s across the southern half of the state. Along the Wasatch Front, we're going to basically hover right around 60 degrees or so with all these clouds in place and that gusty south wind. We do rebound back into the mid-60s by lunchtime, but it is going to be a toasty day across the area. Now, St. George, we get a little bit of a slower start. So we're starting off in the mid-40s out there with those temperatures. But by lunchtime, we're already jumping back up into the mid-60s. So we're going to be on our way to the 70s by later on today. In fact, I think about 73 degrees for St. George today, 65 in Nephi, 67 in Delta, 67 in Salt Lake City. And again, besides the eastern half of the state, we're going to be looking at some warm southerly winds helping to boost those temperatures on up. Speaking of those southerly winds, yeah, they're gusty across most of the state, but for our areas here in the West Desert, from Delta down towards Milford and Enterprise, this is where we could be likely seeing winds gusting over 55 miles per hour as we go throughout the next 24 hours. Now, along the Wasatch Front, we've got a couple of storm systems, as I mentioned, moving in. That first potential comes in on Wednesday, giving us a chance of some valley rain showers and a few mountain snow showers. The second stronger system moves in as we get towards your Friday and the Saturday. That'll bring us a little bit of a better chance of a wintry mix. So as we look at it on the weather maps here, here's that first system. The best chance of seeing precipitation is going to mainly be confined to the mountains north of I-80 here as we get up towards the Uintas and over towards the Bear River Range. That's where we're likely going to be seeing some mountain snow. And yes, we could see some valley rain showers stretching down to about Nephi. So up and down the I-15 corridor from Cache Valley down to about Payson and Nephi, that'll be our best chance of rain and precipitation as we go into your Wednesday. Now that second storm system, the stronger front that comes through on Friday, gives a better chance of precipitation across the state. So the northern half of the state, we're going to be looking at rain changing to snow across the region, and a pretty good chance of that. And then notice the chance of precipitation extends all the way down towards St. George with the second system by the time we get towards your Friday. So across the northern half of the state over the next 5 days, we could be talking about an inch, maybe as much as an inch and a half in some of our mountain locations of liquid precipitation, about a half inch or so along the Wasatch Front, but that'll translate into maybe some mountain snow accumulations as we get into your Wednesday, and maybe a little higher chance of valley and mountain snow accumulations as we get into your Friday. We'll see how that plays out. St. George, breezy conditions, 73 for your high, 60s for your Wednesday and the Thursday with a few isolated showers with that front on Friday. The Wasatch Front, we're looking at again, windy conditions, temperatures well above average, record-breaking, then rain and mountain snow on Wednesday, followed by a better chance of rain and snow and colder weather for the upcoming weekend.